You know what time it is? It's Banlist season. Hi guys, I'm Vortex TCG, and today I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the upcoming ban list that is going to be enacted on April 1st and revealed on March 17th. This list, I think, has been warranted for quite a while, and I think with the release of BT11, a lot of people are hoping a lot of cards get hit on this ban list. And yeah, I want to discuss what I think about the ban list, what I expect to be there, what I think, the limits could be, and hopefully we get them right. But if you're looking forward to this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading every other day and I really appreciate it if you support the channel. But anyways, let's get on to my predictions for the upcoming Digimon ban list. So the first thing I want to say about this upcoming ban list is that I think we were given a little bit of a preview about what to expect in this ban list. And that's because of the modified rule set for the upcoming Ultimate Cups. For me, personally, I think that the Ultimate Cup modified rule set and its ban list were a little bit of a sneak peek about what we would see on the ban list. And so I'm going to go over those cards very quickly because I think all 5 of those cards will end up being on the ban list. And so let's start off with Chaos Degradation. Chaos Degradation has always been a very powerful card in the game. It's probably one of the best forms of removal that you can have in this game, which is you can put it onto security and then you can also trash the security. And that is very powerful, to say the least. So I think the hit to 1 here is good. I think there's no need banning it because being at 1 and having it restricted completely, I don't think doesn't really make much of a change personally. And I'm okay with the hit to 1 because that deck, in my personal opinion, is going to get hit in another way, which I'll discuss after I discuss the Ultimate Cup ban list. So the second card that is restricted to 1 is Grand Agumon Promo. I think this card should be hit. I think when this card was designed, it was designed in such a way where this would be the boss monster, like a low DP, but like high risk, high reward, level 6 that can do a lot very quickly. But I think now that, X Antibody was introduced, I think the power of that card has gone up so much because you gain so many Digi-Evolution sources underneath your Digimon to then get rid of with the Digiburst. If there was ever an errata, I think an errata could come with this card, quite frankly. I think if they errata it to Digiburst once per turn, I think it would be a very fair and balanced card. But again, I think when they were making this card, they just didn't understand or thought ahead to the X Antibody and scrapping 8 Digi-Evolution sources for security attack +4. So yeah, I think it is definitely a card that should be hit, but only at 1. I don't think it deserves to be banned. Then we get onto the banned cards in the restricted list for the Ultimate Cups, and the first one is Defexmon. Personally, for me, Defexmon is a card that isn't it shouldn't be in the game. I think it speaks volumes where we haven't really seen a generic card this powerful since. A card that can, reducing costs, almost wipe an entire field, and it's all because you decide to play the game. Not to mention that it's a big body, I believe it's 15k as well, so it also makes swings into security less safe. It's a crazy card. It's a very, very crazy card. Previously we've seen level 7s have niche play, obviously the main one being Omnimon's Walk Defeat, which allows himself to play out for free, but also gets to delete a Digimon and a Tamer under certain conditions. But even that card wasn't being played all the time, and so personally I think, yes, Defexmon should definitely be hit in the upcoming ban list. The next card that was hit on the ban list was Were Garuru X Antibody, and again, I agree with this ban. Metal Guru has been probably the most powerful of the X-Antibody decks so far, only being really surpassed now due to Grandis, but Metal Guru X has always been a very, very strong deck, and I think the best card in that deck is the Were Guru X Antibody, because it enables you to swing again, probably with security attack +1, and it also allows you to bounce level 4 or low, I believe. And that power in a level 5 is kind of insane, quite frankly, and so it getting hit on the ban list, being restricted completely, is something that I do definitely agree with. Now for the final card, which is Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode. Again, I think with all the different hits that have happened on the other decks, like green and blue, and just like generic overall, I do think purple does need to be hit in some way, and I think the Werewolf Mode is a very smart choice, because obviously there are still cards that you can run to delete your Cerberusmon to gain loads of draws and discards, but the Werewolf Mode was just a little bit more powerful, because not only did you get the swing with the Cerberusmon, but you also got to play level 5 for no cost, getting all the deletes and all the draws and discards that you want, and also having it on rush. This meant that if you were to go into like Minervamon after, or any other level 6 really, it became very good. It was very good, to say the least. So I'm not surprised this is getting hit. I don't think it should be banned. I think it should be limited maybe, but I understand the reason why they want to ban it, because obviously there are cards that can loop Werewolf Mode and do it very consistently. So I think the ban on that is very much warranted. Now getting on to my personal list of cards that I want to see get hit on the ban list, and I think this one is in no shock to anyone. It's Cool Boy. I want to see Cool Boy put to 1 specifically, because I think it should still be a card of the game, but having it at 4 is a little bit too insane in my opinion. Obviously we've already had hits to X-Antibody decks in this ban list predictions, but for me, I think the Cool Boy here is going to end up killing a lot of the X-Antibody decks, except for one, which we'll discuss later. Metal Guru and War Grey heavily rely on this. Black War Grey relies on it as well. There could be future decks that also rely on it, because Cool Boy is just a generic card. You can put it in any X-Antibody deck and it will work. That's how good the card is. Not only does it search, but it also gains you draw, a memory, and it just costs 2. Bearing in mind, other cards of this similar power level, like Nokia, were 3 costs to just reduce it by 1. Tiger just came out recently, and that only reduces it by 1 for level 5s or higher. To me, it's a no-brainer card. You know, if you want to keep on promoting these cards like Tiger or other things that reduce Digi-Evolution costs, especially in BT12 where that is abundant, Cool Boy needs to go. Cool Boy needs to be hit to 1. And I think that's going to really slow the pace of all the X-Antibody decks that are still lingering in the format, because they've overstayed their welcome for 3 or 4 sets now. So yeah, I think it's time for them to get the boot. So I just mentioned that one of them will probably not be affected by this at all, and you might not be shocked by which one will be not affected by it. It's Black War Greymon X-Antibody. Personally, Black War Grey X-Antibody is obviously still a very strong deck without the Cool Boys, and that's because their top end is very powerful. They have hard removal in stuff like De-Digivolve and deleting 3Ks, and also deleting 6Ks. So the balancing point between those cards though is that they cost 4 to Digivolve into, which is a high amount, especially for a level 5. And if you look at the level 6s, they cost 4 or 5 to go into themselves. So personally, for me, I think we need to cut out the card that reduces the costs. And so for my prediction of the Black War Greymon X-Antibody hit, I think it's going to be the Greymon X-Antibody, which just came out in BT11. This card does everything that the deck wants to, and it just makes it really good, quite frankly. The first thing that you have to understand about this card is that it's a red and black source. No longer are there arguments about shall we play red base or black base, because now it doesn't matter, because you can just play the Grey X antibody and then you're fine. Like, you can get both effects with like red and black, like under your black War Greymons. It's like, it's insane, right? And I know future cards are also black and red, especially on the Agumon line, I believe. But for me, I think this is the card that needs to be hit, because not only is it red or black, but it also reduces your level 5 costs depending on how many colors it has. And not only that, it also provides the protection. That's the insane part. Like, not only does it do all these things, it does and more, you know? I think stuff like the Metal Greymon stuff can be played around, but if you go into the Greymon X antibody, it just basically nullifies everything. So for me, I would like to see Greymon X antibody BT11 hit, and quite frankly, I should think it gets banned completely. This card, people underestimate this card. This card is broken, trust me. If you play against any player that's playing Black War Greymon, that card is going to be winning them the game, no doubt. Now for me, there is still one anomaly that is in the Black War Greymon deck, quite frankly, and it isn't about the Digimon, it isn't about the Tamer, it's about its option card, Hades Force. Oh my god, what were they thinking when they were making this card? The fact that this card costs 5, and if you have a Greymon underneath or in play, you can delete up to the play cost of the Greymon. So if you, I don't get it at all. If you have a Greymon, right, you just get to like, what's the cheapest Greymon? Is it like 6 like cost or something like that? If you play Hades Force with a 6 cost Greymon, not only do you get to get rid of your opponent's memory tamer, but you probably can get like rid of a lot of other stuff potentially. Like, it doesn't have to be the 4 cost memory tamer. It can be like 2 free costs, which is becoming more relevant now. And don't get me even started on like the high levels. If you have a Black War Greymon X antibody out, you're clearing your opponent's entire I don't get it. It clears the entire opponent's tamer line, or like a board wipe, for 5 cost. This card, like, if you read this card and you look at the effects of this card, you're just like, what is going on with this card design? Not to mention that it has an insane security effect as well, which allows you to delete your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost, not DP, play cost. That's Iron Fisted Onslaught, right? But it costs 5. Obviously it's in security, so cost doesn't matter, but what are we doing? Like, this card needs to go. This card needs to be banned. Like, I do not want... This is just such a degenerate card. Like, I have such a problem with security control as a person, like, because I don't find that deck fun or anything. This card just screams security control like, and I think this card needs to get banned, quite frankly. Yeah, I don't think there's any other choice for it, quite frankly. I think I only have one more here, and for me, I think, and my previous point about security control, I do not enjoy security control. I pray that more security control hits happen on the ban list. And this is something that I've been asking for quite a while. And I think people don't realize like how powerful this card is. It's Magna Angemon. Magna Angemon, on its like design principles, I think was designed in a time where effects like security, security +1, it like recover or +1, sorry, was new, and it was slow in a weird way. Now we're at the point where we can summon Magna Angemon multiple times throughout the game for no down cost really, because the cards that enable it is just him playing on its own, which is perfectly fine in this currently in this game, but also it has enable cards such as like Flame Hell Scythe, and also obviously the Chaos Degradation hit, and anything that removes insecurity in the yellow/purple package is obviously going to be very powerful towards Magna Angemon. But for me, I think Magna Angemon needs to be hit because I think it's been so long. Like, security control has been around for so long, and it's not going anywhere because it has this tool. And if it has this tool for even longer, that it limits what card design can be for the Digimon card game. Like, think about it. If Yellow wants to print a card that says, oh, play a 6k DP guy or a level 5 or lower, that's automatically going to be a tool for security control. Now, there have been other cards that have been printed since then, which are similar to Magna Angemon, but are nowhere near the power level. I think there was like a Centurismon in the latest set, which allows you to put another card on your field to the top of your security stack, I believe, or something like that. I'll put the card here just for a reference. And that card's interesting, right? That card is, unique, but it isn't just a recover one, So for me, I want to see Magna Angemon get hit. I don't think it needs to be banned though, because I think the cutting edge blade of security control is that you don't want to draw loads of cards because you want to make sure that your opponent decks out instead. So I think hitting it at 1 is actually very powerful. It obviously makes it way less inconsistent, and I think the hit to 1 just pretty much kills security control, quite frankly. So that's what I would like to see happen to Magna Angemon. And plus, like, the card's been out since like the first set. Like, yeah, needs to go to 1 personally. So that's been my ban list prediction. So in recap, I think all the Ultimate Cup ban list adjustments are going to become the normal ban list. I think they just pushed them a little bit ahead so that the tournament season can use the rule set and the new ban list. But on my side, other cards that I want to see hit is the Cool Boy, the Greymon BT11, the Hades Force option card, and Magna Angemon. Those are the 4 main cards that I want to see hit personally on the ban list, outside of the Ultimate Cup ban list adjustment. But what do you guys think? I know I've been very passionate about certain cards, so I'm sure that you guys are very passionate about certain cards as well. And if you are, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I love having discussions with you guys, so let's have a discussion about what we want to see on the ban list. But thank you guys for watching. It really does mean everything to me, and I'll see you guys next time.